Hey, welcome to the TCO studios. Gabe Henderson here from the Vikings Entertainment Network. The Vikings looking to get their first win of the season against an 0-3 Houston Texans team. Kickoff set for 12 p.m. on Fox. And on the call this week is Hale, who joins me today for a one-on-one. Jen, how are you?
Good morning. I'm great. We're getting ready to talk football and hopefully watch football. So that's the important thing. How about you? How are you holding up there?
I'm holding up pretty well. It's been an interesting week with everything going on here in Eagan. But like you said, the plan is to play this week, and the Texans are up next. So, yeah, cross fingers right now. But for you, like, what stands out to you about this matchup?
First of all, I think even though both teams are winless, 0-3, I think they're both much better than their record indicates. And I usually don't say stuff like that. For the Texans, especially, they had a heck of a schedule the first 3 weeks. Just absolutely brutal. And for the Vikings, I really think with so many new pieces, that it has been, it's really hurt the Vikings squad to not have that preseason and to have the truncated training camp. And the more time on task the Vikings get, I think you can see weekly growth out of them. There were some really impressive things happening for the Vikings last week on the field that if they carry over this week, I think will make for a very interesting battle and chess match.
You talk about impressive pieces. There is a guy on this Vikings roster that went to your alma mater of LSU that had his breakout game this past Sunday. His name is Justin Jefferson. I'm sure you know him really well. But what have you seen from his progression?
Him and both of his brothers, absolutely. Yeah. We keep track of our LSU guys. And I tell you what, with the Mississippi State score in LSU, there wasn't much for Tiger Nation to be happy about last week. So it was all about JJ.
Back to pass, straight drop, passing right. Jefferson, yes, on the run. 40-30, angles left to the 20, and he is gone.
I think that breakout game, we saw him look so much more like the wide receiver we saw at LSU, making happen, knowing how to find the right holes in that zone defense, knowing how and where to be exactly for his quarterback, playing with such intensity and such confidence. The last year at LSU, of course, is what everybody remembers from him. And I think that really helps when you can have somebody distract from Adam Thielen, somebody else that a defense has to be accountable for and not 100% sure where they're going to line up and what they're going to do. I think that's huge.
What's your take on Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins at this point of the season?
Well, but they're both in a similar boat in terms of they're learning to cope with life without their star wide receivers that they're used to having. They don't have the security blanket that both teams had before. So that again, it takes time. You can do all the Zoom meetings you want and all the virtual work that you can, and it still just doesn't replace those in-person meetings or that on the installation. So I think there are a lot of similarities in that respect. Both offenses can really do a lot of damage. They're waiting for their defenses to click and be complementary. I think this could be a really big game for the Texans in terms of Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks. Deshaun really seems to be finding another gear with them, similar to how Kirk was last weekend with Justin Jefferson. I do think the Vikings offense has a leg up in the run game. Dalvin Cook just obviously spectacular. The Texans run game, it's been sputtering. They haven't gotten it going lately. And I would think it's going to be equally difficult this week versus the front, Yannick Ngakoue, that the Vikings have. To me, the soft spot, the opportunity for the Texans offense is really attacking the Vikings' young corners.
13,300 fans will be in attendance this Sunday at NRG Stadium. So do you think that will play any advantage to either team? I guess in this case, the Vikings?
I don't see how it'll be an advantage for the Vikings.
Okay.
I could see it being an advantage for the Texans to have some support. Through the first 3 games, I'm so glad football's back. I'm not complaining. The protocols are working. Yep. But nonetheless, game day feels more like a practice with no fans.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help the Texans generate some energy. For a defense led by a guy like J.J. Watt, they need that energy and buzz. J.J. has been very forthcoming about how much he misses fans and feeds off their energy. So it's definitely going to help in the Texans column, I would think.
Well, I've been telling Vikings fans all week, tickets are $60 on Ticketmaster, so feel free to buy those tickets for the game this weekend and stay safe while doing so. But we'll get out of here with this. In the NFL where success is defined by wins and losses, how can the Vikings get back in the win column on Sunday?
You've absolutely got to keep that run game going with Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson going. And then I'd love to see your tight ends get more involved. It seems like you could have some real matchup issues there if you could get them going. So I think that's important, a multifaceted attack for the Vikings this weekend against the Texans. And again, I'll just say, so far, we have not seen the Texans defend well against the run. They've been awesome at getting to the quarterback, but they have not been good at stopping the run. So I would think Dalvin Cook could really find some unique opportunities this weekend.
Kickoff, it's set for 12 p.m. on Fox. Jen Hale is on the call this week. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks for having me. Stay safe.